Now it's your turn to simplify expressions involving division by a monomial. Stop this video, take a moment to write out your answers to these problems in your lecture outline packet, and then turn the video back on to check your answers. In this first example, we have negative 12t squared over 18t to the 8th. And so we can think of that, looking at canceling, we can think of this as negative 2 times 6, knowing that a factor of 6 will cancel from 12 and 18, times t squared. So we've got negative 2 times 6 times t squared over 3 times 6, and then t to the 8th, I'm going to want to cancel a t squared out of there. So I can write that as t squared t to the 6th. Simplifying then, those factors of 6 will cancel, and the factors of t squared will cancel. So I'm left with negative 2 over 3t to the 6th. Again, I could have approached this a slightly different way using the rules of exponents directly. And so I'd have negative 12t squared over 18t to the 8th equal to negative 12 over 18 times t squared over t to the 8th. And that negative 12 over 18 will simplify to negative 2/3. And t squared over t to the 8th will be t to the 2 minus 8, excuse me. And so that becomes negative 2/3 t to the negative 6, which t to the negative 6 is 1 over t to the 6, so that's negative 2 over 3t to the 6th when fully simplified. Looking at our next example, we have 10x to the 5th y to the 3rd over 5x y to the 7th. So looking at this, and again I'll approach this from factoring, I could also use the rules of exponents directly, but 10 and 5 have a factor of 5 in common. I can think of this as 2 times 5. X to the 5th and x, I'm going to want to cancel a factor of x from each of those, so I can write x to the 5th as x times x to the 4th, and y cubed and y to the 7th have a common factor of y cubed. So I'll leave that y cubed in the numerator. My numerator now reads 2 times 5 times x to the 4th times y cubed. And it's written that way so that I can see exactly what's going to cancel. The denominator, I have 5x y to the 7th, so I'm going to write this as 5 times x, and because I want y cubed to cancel, I'm going to write it as y cubed times y to the 4th. So looking then, I can see that factors of 5 will each cancel, and factors of x will cancel, and lastly, those y cubes will cancel. So I'm left with 2x to the 4th over y to the 4th. And again, if I'd wanted to, I could have used the rules of exponents directly there as well. Looking at our last example, we have 4y to the 9th plus 12y cubed minus 18y, and that entire expression is divided by the monomial 12y. Our first step with this one is going to be to break this up so that each term in the numerator is divided by that monomial. So that'll leave us with 4y to the 9th divided by 12y plus 12y cubed divided by 12y, minus 18y divided by 12y. And now we'll look at each of these terms separately. 4y to the 9th over 12y, 4 and 12 will simplify to 1/3, and y to the 9th over y will be y to the 8th. So we'll have y to the 8th over 3, and then we're adding, and for this 12y cubed over 12y, the factors of 12 will cancel, and y cubed over y will just leave us with y squared. So we'll add y squared, and then our last one, we're subtracting 18y over 12y. Those factors of y will each cancel, and 18 over 12 simplifies to 3/2. So we'll have minus 3/2. And so that entire expression, when simplified, is y to the 8th over 3 plus y squared minus 3/2.